Thank you for coming. My name is Alan Weinkrantz. I'm going to give a talk. Also, I don't like to call these lectures, and the reason I don't like lectures is lecture is what your parents did when you were a little child, and they would lecture to you, and they go, you were a bad boy, and you didn't do it, you were a bad girl. So I don't like the word lecture, but we're just here to have a talk. And so what I'm going to do is before we start, let's just kind of go around the room and introduce yourselves, and what are you doing, what are you working on, what's important to you in the area of communications. So what's your name?
Hi, my name is Ken.
Ken?
To tell you about the
Just high level, I'm working on X, or do you have any other team members with you?
Okay, I have 2 projects here in the Inno-Negev.
A project or a startup?
2 startups.
Okay, can I start? Let me interrupt you. Whenever I hear someone say project, I always think of they're working on a science project. So be very careful. This is all about communications, and I'm going to cut you off on purpose.
Okay.
I have a startup.
I have 2 startups.
I have 2 startups. I have 3. I'm going to be king of the world. What are you working on?
I'm doing Skyfall technologies. In Skyfall technologies, we're creating a media hologram.
Okay.
Okay. We can do it bigger size of a building.
Okay.
Our system is quite lightweight, it's compactable, transportable.
High level, just kind of rapid fire. And what's your other 2?
And the other 2 is I'm working with AD. We are creating a online video platforms for exercising together.
Good. Okay.
Worldwide. Okay, so people can exercise together with a real coach.
Wow.
In real time.
Okay. And your name is?
Adi.
Adi, and you're working together?
Yes.
And now, are you on one startup or many also?
Well, actually, I've got 2, but the main focus is Video Up, the startup, the video.
That's a good name.
Yes.
Very good
Thank
name.
you. So this is my main focus.
Okay, and your name?
Hi, I'm Yossi,
Hi, Yossi.
and this is Nathan. We are working together on Configo, which is a platform that allows software teams to gradually roll out new features and configuration for mobile applications.
Wow. Okay, and go ahead. Are you together?
No.
Okay, what are you working on, or what's your name?
My name is Ofer, and I'm working on a integrated system for law enforcement forces, for the field officers and the commanders.
Okay.
My name is Adi. I have also a startup. I founded Omula. This is the name of the startup a few months ago. And Omula aimed to create a marketplace within local communities.
Docker?
Sorry?
You said for Docker?
No. Online marketplace within local communities.
Oh, okay.
In order to in order to create a platform for senior citizens to give and take from their community they live in.
What's the name of the company?
Homula.
Homula, that's a nice name.
It's like
Home.
yeah, but it's come from Hamula. It's a word in Hebrew.
Okay.
Meaning like century ago, people live in the same place, like the senior citizens with the sun as
Right.
and it was in the central of everything, and today it's totally different.
Sure.
So.
Very good. Okay, keep going.
My name is Nathan, and
You're working together?
as he said, yeah.
Okay, and your name?
My name is Amiel, student software engineer.
Okay. Here at Ben-Gurion University. At Ben-Gurion?
No, Afek.
Oh, Affecta. Okay, I know, yeah.
I am Alon, and I'm working on an app which enables smooth collaboration between real estate agents.
Oh, good. Okay.
We
You're working together. And your name?
I'm Amy, I'm from downstairs from WAD. I'm just interested.
Oh, okay.
I'm Alex and this is Leon. We're working on a portable noise reduction solution for home. It's called Voxy.
Good. And
I'm Ophir, I work at the Inno-Negev accelerator.
And you're working together.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. This is great. Well, thank you. So, any of you on social media? Any on Twitter, Facebook?
Yeah.
Are you on? What do you want?
Yeah, we're working on with Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook.
Good.
The same.
Yeah, I find for some reason Twitter just is not used widely in Israel. I don't know, it's just
Yeah.
a cultural thing. I don't know why, but I use it a lot for research, and I use it to find journalists, or I have journalists discovering companies that I've worked with or things about what I'm doing. But anyway, just interesting to know. So I've been doing this for a long time. My background's in media relations and PR. I live in San Antonio, which is in Texas. I also live in Tel Aviv, and I've been involved with Israel's technology sector about 24 years. There's a company, Audio Codes, with their logos on the wall. I worked with them when they were a startup. And I used to sit and argue with the founder of the company and telling him why I thought no one would ever buy into the idea of carrier grade IP voice. It was crazy. I mean, why would a large corporation, why would a major telco shift to IP? But I was wrong, and it worked out. But so I've worked on handling media relations and PR for companies like Audio Codes and others. And I'm sponsored by a company called Rackspace. I'm going to be, we're ending the sponsorship at the end of February, but I'm still with Rackspace. Anybody know Rackspace? The
Yeah.
company? So we're the world's largest managed cloud services company, $2 billion in sales, 6,000 employees. And if any of you need hosting credits, let me know either before or after. Even after, I can still help you afterwards. We can give you $24,000 in hosting credits, cloud, and they basically, their whole thing is about really great customer support. It's called fanatical support. So I've been doing this forever and ever since I graduated from college. So I was really lucky. I was most of you probably weren't born in 1976, but anyway, I finished school in '76. I got my first job out of college, and I started working on really the beginning of doing things in media relations, PR, advertising, something to do with communications, beginning with the personal computer, the shift to mobile data, the beginning of the network computer, really sort of the network and endpoint security, the beginning of VoIP, the beginning of Wi-Fi, the beginning of IPTV, the beginning of the tablet and mobile, and now cloud. So it's kind of, I've been through all these different cycles, major platform shifts. And a lot of this did come from Israel. So these were what we call the OEMs and ODMs of the world. And I am sponsored by Rackspace. This is the only time I just mention them as a company because they do sponsor me to be here. We can get you $24,000 in hosting credits for a year. So enough of the commercial. I come from a world of what we call OEMs and ODMs. So everyone knows what an OEM or an ODM is? No? They're original equipment manufacturers or original design manufacturers. Most of the things that you have in all your devices in some form or fashion came from here. So I worked with a lot of fabless semiconductor companies, a lot of algorithm companies that would either sell or license their technologies to companies like Microsoft, to Intel, to Texas Instruments, Dell, IBM. So it's sort of a cycle, and it's just pretty amazing to be here where Audio Codes is, because Audio Codes technology, we would get design wins with Cisco, or we get design wins with Avaya. So you may not know the Audio Codes name, to the general public because they weren't a consumer company, but a lot of these companies that I work with, their guts and their intelligence and their smarts went inside all these devices that we use today. So this is kind of the world that I come from. And so I'm a big believer in having what we call an evil plan. So I'm hoping today to go through sort of some belief sets and then a methodology to help you build out what I call an evil plan for building a communications program that will help impact your company and leverage your brand. Hi there, come in.
Sorry.
That's okay. So, are any of you, how far along are you in the development of your companies? Are any of you actually shipping anything, or do you have software out there, users?
We've got pilots with you.
You do? Okay, you have pilots with coaches or with consumers or what?
Both, consumers and coaches.
How are you reaching the fitness media?
Didn't reach it.
We just started. We tweet a lot of in Twitter to a lot of. We started to follow on super coaches, and
Okay.
we received a lot of people that's interested in doing some sports that started to follow us. We've got a Facebook page.
Okay, good.
We are about to build our community by reaching out to many people that's interested in workout. And
Okay. So are one of your targets the fitness publications or anything to do with fitness or working out or who are you trying to reach?
Right now, at the moment, it's
new moms,
women.
new parents. Okay.
New moms?
New moms. Okay,
Because?
Because they have to stay at home, watch for the young kids,
Right.
and we offer them a solution to exercise without even.
Okay, so can we get together after the talk?
Yeah,
Sure.
of course.
I can help you think about how do you reach new mothers. There's publications to reach new mothers that if you've got videos now where I just had my baby. I mean, I've had 2 children, so I know what it was like because you want to get back into shape. I always say I've never lost the weight from our second child. Actually, my daughter's now 24, but when she was little, she used to pat my tummy. She'd say, "Daddy, we're gonna have another baby, aren't we?" I said, "Yes." So I understand. Being after you have a baby, you're gonna be hot again in a second. So I'm working. I may be a customer of yours one day because I haven't lost the baby weight from having our second child. But anyway, okay. Anybody else shipping product yet?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And who are you trying to reach? What media?
For now, the main target is the developers and product managers that are gonna use our product to release new features on their mobile applications.
Okay.
We use mainly cold emails or Twitter.
Okay, but what about reaching? There's a publication called Software Development or anything. Are you trying to reach media?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. So what I want to get you to think about is how do you, I call it either getting lucky or getting to what I call the right side of being right. And so what I'm hoping is that through this process, you'll be able to start thinking about how do I actually identify media that I want to go after, how do I pitch them a story, and how do I maybe get some media coverage. And so where I always start with is really stop pitching and start listening. And this will be on SlideShare, by the way, so you can take notes, but it'll be on my SlideShare page. But what I like to do is always talk about stop pitching, start listening, and what I do, especially like on a platform like Twitter, find journalists that are writing about the subject that you want to promote. And a lot of this is just logic and common sense, but it's amazing how common sense doesn't always enter, especially the mindset of either entrepreneurs or developers. So I always tell people, pitch later, but start listening to journalists, follow what they write about, and your pitches will get better. And the other thing is building a body of work that will make you valuable to the media. Do you guys have a blog?
Not yet.
Not it.
But will you start writing content about, hey, you just had your baby, you just want to get back into shape a little bit, here's 5 ways to get going, some basic content that you can offer to media, things you've learned, and also as your community grows, you'll probably learn a lot from your community, where you can go interview new moms to say, God, I got home from the hospital, it was overwhelming, but here's 3 things that I did, and here's what I learned. I mean, these can be great interviews, it can be content, things you can share above and beyond just getting press. Anybody else have a blog yet for their companies? No? Okay. Highly encouraged, start building content, start writing about how you're interesting and how you can be helpful to media. The other is what I call adding value to your brand. Yes?
In Israel, it's not so common to have a blog.
I know. It's a
So
problem.
maybe it's isn't a Facebook profile is somewhat like a blog?
No, okay.
'Cause
So I write on Facebook, I write on Medium, I have a YouTube channel, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Instagram, I have a YouTube channel. But I'm redoing my site, but I also have a blog. And the reason I have a blog, even me, just as a consultant, is I need a centralized body of work. And the other thing is, yes, I have content that's distributed, but I want to be discoverable, and I want to have a centralized place where all my content is. Because what if I told you that you've got awesome content, you've got an awesome idea, but I can't find you? you're gonna be a well-kept secret. And I am not an SEO expert. I don't even believe in SEO because I've never subscribed to anything about SEO. But I do this for myself, for my own consulting practice. What I find is when I have a body of work in a centralized place, and I distribute it through Facebook, I distribute it on YouTube, wherever it might be, I'm more discoverable, and I at least I own my own place, my own piece of real estate on the internet. I'm not here to say you shouldn't. Yes, you should have this Facebook page or this Facebook group, absolutely, but you can repurpose a lot of this content. But I think if you centralize, this is just my belief. Remember, I'm not here to tell you to do anything. I just have because the world's full of experts, okay? I'm not an expert, I just share my belief sets. But after you do things hundreds and thousands of times, you tend to see patterns. So even being here in Israel for the last 15 months, what I've learned is after I've literally sat, talked with, met with, done this, close to 1,000 startups, and I see patterns. And yes, Twitter's a problem here, and the idea of blogging, people think, well, I'll just do it on Facebook. You can, I think it's a lazy way to do it. And I think it decreases your chances of being discovered.
The blog can be part of the website.
Right, right, exactly. Just add a thing called blog. You're right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, anyway, layers of value to your brand. Right for storytelling. Okay. I don't mean to pick on you, but I think what you're doing is you have such a great opportunity for storytelling. God, what was it like leaving the workforce, having a baby, meeting other people? I just want to get back to being myself. How do I get back and get maybe back into shape? How do I connect with other developers? What's going? What I find here, particularly in Israel, is everyone thinks about technology, and the mechanics of everything you do, but there's no story. We're all just humans trying to figure this stuff out. Add some humanity to your brand, even those of you're doing law enforcement? Hello? Okay. What are the challenges today facing law enforcement officials that didn't exist 5 years ago? How do you make them more human and get them to relate, to care? Why do you matter? I don't really care about your silly technology anyway. What I really care about is, why do you matter? How am I going to connect with you? And how can I go, you know what? These guys are awesome because they're going to help me realize that there's other policemen just like me. There's other law enforcement officials just like me facing big challenges. That to me is a reason I want to belong to your community.
Mhm.
That's where I want you guys to think about. Look, you're the smartest people in the world. I mean, you're like, it's just every day I meet all these. But stop drilling down into your technology. Be a little more human and get people to think about why you matter. Okay? So, right for storytelling. Have a mission that helps and build community. So, what's your name?
My name is Leo.
Wait, are you the student? Wait,
No.
You're the student. What are you working on? Remind me.
We're looking at
We bring the car to your home by a voxy device that attach to window and prevent external noise to get in the room.
And why does that matter?
Mhm.
because
What's your mission?
My vision to solve the noise problem in the world.
But why does that? What's your? That's a tactical answer. Why does it? Stop. Okay. Why does this matter? Are you improving lives? Are you making better quality of life? I mean,
yeah,
Yes, of course.
okay. So what's your mission?
we should to bring some quiet to urban noise to apartments and some places.
And how does this work?
How technology work?
Yeah. How does? I mean, what is it you do then?
How we do it?
No. What is it you're doing? I have here. Do it.
Okay.
It can help me to sleep better.
No, but how? I want to buy it from you right now. Here's.
I give you quiet.
Okay.
to your life.
A little peace and quiet. Could I
Yes.
maybe meditate? Could I sleep better?
Yes.
Can I tune out the world in an urban environment? You know, the biggest societal shift going on in the world right now is people are moving to mega cities. Anyway, people are moving to mega cities.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're really part of a fundamental sociological shift where we see people coming into major metropolitan cities, but there's a problem with noise pollution. We want to help reduce noise pollution. We want to improve quality of life, and we want people to feel like there's some sense of peace and serenity in their homes.
Thank you.
Okay, that to me
Much more better.
is a little, yeah, okay, that's what you're doing, or I believe you're doing.
Yeah.
So, actually, where did I read it? Because I read a lot. The mega city, God, where did I read it? I would like to find it. There was actually a really interesting article. You know what?
EEA.
What?
The article called EEA.
No, I'll tell you what they were talking about. They said that actually mega cities will replace nation states in terms of the importance of how societies work and function. There's actually, do you know Atlantic Cities? Have you heard of it?
Atlantic City, yes.
No. There's a publication called Cities from the Atlantic. See me afterwards.
Oh, okay.
I want you. Here's the thing. You are really urban demographers. That's really what you do. Okay, you're part of a fundamental sociological shift that is happening in the world, and you're sitting here going, "Well, we have an algorithm." Can I say fuck?
Yeah.
Fuck your algorithm.
Okay.
Okay, you're part of a fundamental societal shift that's going on in the world. Mega cities are transforming the way we live and the way we experience life, and we want to help make it a better way to live.
Yeah.
That to me is a little more powerful than, well, we're real smart and we figured out this way to do something. Okay, that's part of your brand, that's part of your, yes. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, that's part of your, okay. That's the mindset I'm trying to get you guys to think about, okay? Now, have a trail of what I call digital breadcrumbs. So in the case of, I'm gonna contradict myself, I was saying, have a blog, yes. Centralized place, yes. But you also want digital breadcrumbs, okay? On Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, have a Facebook page, have a Facebook community, absolutely. Did anybody remember the movie E.T.?
Yes.
Remember when E.T. would what was his name, Mike or Joey, the kid, what was his, whatever the kid, he left the little Skittles, and E.T. could find them. So these are little digital breadcrumbs you want to find. So I'm amazed how people find my stuff, because I just kind of leave things all over the place. So leave a trail of digital breadcrumbs. And the other problem is, I gather, are there any like non-Israelis in the room? All of you are Sabra from here? This is very unusual, because generally I meet people from, anyway. So I will sit here and tell you, write. And most of you, as smart as you might be, English may not be your native language, and maybe your English, you don't write as well in English as you would in Hebrew. Get someone, is there a journalism department at Ben Gurion?
Yeah, תקשורת, yes. Yeah, there is a communicate. There is a.
Okay, find a journalism student, give them an internship, buy them beer, have them come to work for you, and join your team, and let them build their resume. But get ideally a native English speaker, Australian, South African, American, Brit, where else? Australia, Israel, well, anyway. But try to find someone who can speak and write in English. Share your story, but try to build, your body of work. But the way I learned to write was I just write as I speak. Because what I try to do is, when I'm writing, I'm basically trying to speak to millions of people. I'm not trying to write some high-level thing. I'm just trying to be human, trying to communicate with another person, saying, I figured out a way to help you X, Y, Z, whatever it might be. Just do it in simple English. So the other is, I have found that the more you read publications specific to your space, the better you'll get at pitching. You've got to start reading and understanding. Okay. So the other is I find that, I was just saying, if you can sustain, it will, you know what cascade means? Is it one builds on the other. I generally find that, I'll be helping a company and they'll say, well, we put out our first blog post and no one listened. And I go, okay, you have no body of work, you have to sustain this. It takes anywhere between 3 or 6 months to start being discoverable, for journalists to start listening to you, so you have to sustain this. So basically, these are some belief sets, but if you want to change the world in terms of helping advance what you're doing, I believe you have to really start off with what I call being helpful. And your goal is to be helpful to the media, to help them find your company, see where you can be of value, and what makes you an interesting story to cover. So the way you do this is I'm going to give you a homework assignment, okay? So generally, what I look at, especially with blogging, is come up with a 90-day editorial calendar. So I look at the month of March, April, and May, and generally it doesn't have to be this way, but this is founder 1, founder 2, founder 3, founder 4. How many people in your companies, average?
2 or 3.
2 or 3, okay. So the 3 of you, whatever it might be, start building a body of work, but I believe that everyone, I don't care if you're the CTO, the founder, the co-founder, I don't care if you're the janitor, whatever you do in your business, all of you should write. Because here's what I find when you start writing together, is that you start thinking alike, you start building a common voice, and it also builds internal culture, and it's also a way to start, hopefully you'll be successful to do recruiting. And what I'd like to do is just say, look, come up with some topics and just start writing. You don't have to publish anything. Just build some content and see what you sound like and see what you write about and come up with content that you think will be helpful to journalists and that's interesting. And if you follow this, let's say, again, I'm using the example of 4 founders, over 90 days, and just twice a month, only twice a month, you have to do 2 posts, you'd have 24 posts by the end of the quarter. You'd have 48 and a half a year, 96 in 1 year. Even if you hit half of it, you'd have a nice body of work with some really good content. But initially what I recommend is start writing, start prototyping some content, don't publish anything. Because at the end of, yes, go ahead.
How do we choose the topics?
What?
How do we choose the topics?
We'll talk about that today. Okay? We'll come up. I think just by listening to your community, especially with you guys, I think you're just listening to the moms. What was it like? How did I don't know, it may be interview new moms. I don't know what it would, I don't know. We'd have to figure that out. But I think that just going through the process, well, let's meet a little, we'll schedule some time today, we'll go through that, okay? Great way to get started. So, before March 1, what I want you to do is think about, make a list of where you think you might belong, what publications. Okay, you can just do some research, you can type in leading blogs that cover X, or who are the law enforcement blogs, and let me think, what is your name? Alon?
Yeah.
And what is your company, remind me?
Collaboration between real estate agents.
Oh wait, are you working together?
No.
I'm sorry. And in the back, what's your name?
We are working together.
Okay, and you're with RAD, why are you here?
We're interested in
And which RAD do you work on, which company?
the main.
But which, RAD does like a gazillion different things.
Okay, we manufacture switches. The main RAD company starts from making communication.
No, I know there's RAD Vision,
Yes.
there was all.
It's all become from RAD. They start with the Megaplex, the communication with all type of communication like RS232 and all those stuff, and they get advanced to Ethernet.
Okay.
Now.
What do you do at RAD?
Automation engineer. Automation.
Okay, and why, I'm just curious, what brought you, or why, I'm just curious?
I have I'm also a dreamer like everybody else here. I have a few ideas.
Oh, good, okay, all right. Okay. So think about where you want to be, what bloggers you might want to reach out to, what media is appropriate to your space. There's industry analysts you can track. You should also track your competitors. Just a simple thing like you can go to news.google.com, type in competitors' names, type in certain categories of subject matter. You can start getting news feeds. You can get an idea who's covering, who's writing about what. You can go on AngelList, and obviously make sure that your LinkedIn and your Twitter, your social profiles are current. And that's basically it. It's real simple, real basic, but it's trying to help you get what I call above the code. Because what I find is that so many companies are just focused on their technology, but there's no layer of brand. There's no thinking about the writing, the content being found, being discovered, being shared, and adding some value. So do you have any questions?